Here is the professional YouTube script in English for Global Entry News, 1,800 words, in clean flow without headings. If you are a green card holder and you have not heard this news yet, then the next few minutes could genuinely change the direction of your life. In April 2026, an immigration update has come through that is a massive win for millions of permanent residents across the United States. But attached to this win is a serious warning that, if ignored, could turn this good news into a personal disaster. So stay with this video until the very end, because every part of it matters. You are watching Global Entry News, your most trusted source for the immigration updates that actually affect your life, your status, and your family's future. If you are new to this channel, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell notification so that you never miss a single update that could impact your case. We do not do panic here. We do not do clickbait. We give you facts, clearly and honestly, every single time. Now let's get straight into it. In April 2026, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services has made a significant policy adjustment that directly benefits green card holders, particularly those who are moving toward citizenship, those who are sponsoring family members, and those whose renewals have been stuck in the system for far too long. What this update means in plain terms is that processing times have improved, the backlog clearing process has accelerated, and priority queues have been created for specific categories of applicants who have been waiting the longest. Let's break down exactly what this win looks like. For a long time, green card holders have been dealing with one of the most frustrating problems in the immigration system. Their I-90 renewal applications, which is the form used to renew a permanent resident card, were sitting pending for months, and in many cases over a year. This caused travel disruptions, employment verification nightmares, and a cycle of stress that never seemed to end. USCIS has now officially acknowledged that this backlog was unacceptable and has introduced dedicated processing lanes specifically for I-90 filers. This is a real, tangible improvement that people filing right now are already beginning to feel. The second major win is for family-based preference categories. For those who sponsored their spouse, children, or parents and watched those cases sit frozen for years, movement has finally begun. The F2A category, which covers the unmarried spouses and children of lawful permanent residents, has seen a noticeable shift in April 2026, and cases are finally progressing. For families that have been separated, waiting month after month for a visa bulletin update, this is genuinely emotional and important news. The third positive development is around naturalization. If you are eligible to file for citizenship under the 5-year rule or the 3-year rule for those married to a U.S. citizen, USCIS has improved appointment availability at several field offices, and biometric scheduling has become more accessible than it was even 6 months ago. Some applicants who were facing 18 to 24-month wait times are now seeing timelines closer to 12 to 15 months. That is still not fast, but it is meaningfully better than before. Now here is the part I asked you to stay for, because the warning is just as important as the win. The first warning is this: if you are planning to file any application right now because of this positive news, make absolutely sure your documents are updated and complete before you submit anything. USCIS has also seen an increase in request for evidence rates, what they call RFEs, which means officers are more frequently asking for additional documentation rather than outright denying cases. This is actually an opportunity for you, but only if you are prepared. If you receive an RFE and you are not ready to respond with the right evidence within the deadline, your case can be closed. An RFE also adds an average of 87 days to your processing time, so do not rush. Prepare properly, then file. The second warning is about travel. Many green card holders assume that as long as their card is valid, they can travel internationally without any complications. In April 2026, immigration enforcement presence at airports and ports of entry has noticeably increased. This does not mean you should avoid travel if your documents are in order. If you are legally in good standing, you have nothing to fear. But it does mean that you need to have your green card physically on you. Your documents must be complete and current, and if you have any trip in your travel history that exceeded 6 months, you should consult an immigration attorney before traveling internationally again. Do not take chances with this. The third and perhaps most critical warning is for those planning to file for naturalization, and it is about continuous residence. Many permanent residents assume that because they have a green card and they live in the United States, their continuous residence is automatically proven and protected. That assumption is wrong. If you took any extended trip outside the United States that lasted more than 180 days during the period leading up to your naturalization application, your continuous residence may have been broken. A broken continuous residence does not mean you can never become a citizen, but it does mean your clock may need to restart, adding years to your wait. Before you file your N-400, carefully review your entire travel history, check your tax filing records, and if there is any doubt at all, speak with a qualified immigration attorney. Filing incorrectly is far worse than filing late. The fourth warning is about scams, and I know this feels like something we say all the time, because we do, and because it never stops being necessary. Every single time positive immigration news comes out, a new wave of fraudulent consultants and so-called notarios emerges, promising to expedite your case or claiming they have contacts inside USCIS who can move your file to the front of the line. Let me be absolutely clear. USCIS does not work that way. Nobody has those contacts. Nobody can make your case move faster than the system itself is moving. If anyone promises you a faster result in exchange for money beyond the standard USCIS filing fees, they are committing fraud against you. Do not pay them, report them, and protect yourself. The fifth warning is specifically for those holding a conditional green card, typically issued in marriage-based cases, which is valid for 2 years rather than 10. If your conditional green card is expiring soon or has already expired and you have not filed the I-751 petition to remove conditions, this is an urgent matter. USCIS has recently sent stricter compliance notices to conditional residents. Failing to file your I-751 on time can result in loss of status. This is not something to delay or handle casually. Act on it immediately. Now let's talk about the practical steps you should take right now. First, check your green card. Look at the expiration date. If you have 6 months or fewer remaining, begin the I-90 renewal process today. Go to the official USCIS website, uscis.gov. Download the correct form and verify the current filing fees. Avoid third-party websites that charge extra fees for the same forms you can access for free on the government website. Second, check your naturalization eligibility. If you have held your green card for 5 years, or 3 years if you are married to a U.S. citizen, you may be eligible right now. Calculate your physical presence. You can use the online tool on USCIS.gov or manually go through your passport and travel history. Remember that only days physically present in the United States count, and travel days must be carefully accounted for. Third, if you are waiting on a family preference petition, review the State Department's Visa Bulletin for April 2026. This monthly bulletin tells you the current dates for each preference category. If your category's date has moved forward this month, which it has for certain categories, you may be closer to approval than you realize. Fourth, if you have any pending application that has received no update in 6 months or more, check your case status through the USCIS online portal. If there is no movement showing, you can request a congressional inquiry through your local congressperson's office. This service is completely free. It is your right as a resident. and it sometimes draws attention to cases that have stalled without explanation. And fifth, do not overlook this one. Make sure your address is current with USCIS. If you have moved and have not filed the AR-11 form to update your address, you are actually violating your legal obligations as a permanent resident. More importantly, if USCIS sends you a notice or a request and it goes to an old address and you miss it, your case can be dismissed. This takes 10 minutes to fix. Do it today. One more thing before we close. You might be wondering whether this immigration improvement is a stable, lasting change or simply a temporary moment of relief. Honestly, immigration policy right now is in a state of ongoing movement. Some of the improvements we are seeing come from administrative changes, staffing decisions, technology upgrades, and outcomes from court orders. They are not permanent legal guarantees, which means that if you are eligible for any application right now, especially naturalization, there is no strategic reason to wait. Opportunity in immigration does not always stay open. Citizenship in particular is the single most powerful long-term protection an immigrant can obtain. A citizen cannot be deported. A citizen's status does not change with political shifts. A citizen can petition for family members on the fastest available track. If you are eligible, file. That is the complete picture for April 2026. A genuine win for green card holders in terms of processing, family reunification, and naturalization access, paired with 5 serious warnings you must take to heart before you take any action. Prepare your documents, respect your travel history, avoid scammers, handle conditional residence urgently, and keep your address updated. This has been Global Entry News. If this video helped you, please share it with anyone you know who holds a green card. A friend, a family member, a neighbor. One share from you could make a real difference in someone's immigration journey. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now. We are here for every important update, delivered clearly and honestly. Take care of yourself, and we will see you in the next video.